Well, after the Eagles swoop for Oliver Glasner, it didn't take flight immediately, but things eventually took off for Crystal Palace. But this season they have fallen to earth with a huge bump. Crystal Palace need a win desperately, so the last place they want to come is here against a club they haven't beaten in the top flight since 1991. And Forest have ruffled a few feathers this season, plucked a win from nowhere against Liverpool at Anfield, frustrated Chelsea at the Bridge, but points here at home have been harder to come by. They haven't won here since they beat Fulham in April. It's over 200 days ago. It's their worst run without a home win in 4 years. So, are Palace going to get off the mark tonight? And Nottingham Forest going to get their first home win in 6 months. Something may well give under the lights at the magnificent City Ground in Nottingham. Nottingham Forest without Morgan Gibbs-White and James Ward-Prowse both suspended. The manager suspended too. Crystal Palace reshuffle their pack, but their three-man defence keeps the same personnel for the first time this season. Tim Robinson, who hasn't sent anyone off this season and not given a penalty, although it is only his 4th Premier League game, is our referee. VAR, Darren England. And on TalkSport 2 tomorrow night, we've got Leeds against Watford, a big night of EFL action, and Champions League action on TalkSport with Villa and Bologna. Don't forget to check out the TalkSport YouTube channel, where you can get loads of content like the Premier League All Access podcast, which includes an explanation from me about something that happened yesterday, worth checking out. Right now, it's Monday Night Football, and this is the City Ground. This is the place to be. Then again, when is TalkSport not the place to be? The Mull of Kintyre rings around this famous old ground, and we are ready under the lights on Monday Night Football. All-action midfielder Danny Murphy is sat on the end of the row. Last night he was next to Theo Walcott and Rafa Benitez. Tonight he's slumming it with me and Adrian, but he knows we always have fun on Monday nights. How big is this for Palace tonight?
Huge game. Really, really big game in terms of concentration, levels of performance, and grinding out a result and showing those Palace fans that they want to fight and they want to stay in this division. There's another loss tonight. It's going to be a huge blow for their confidence.
Nottingham Forest shooting from left to right in the first half. Red shirts, white shorts, red socks. It's all yellow for Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest have 10 points. They're most after a 7-game stretch in the Premier League season in 29 years, but they have a sense of anger and frustration about Gibbs-White sending off and subsequent bans for Nuno Espirito Santo as well. Crystal Palace finished last season in a blaze of glory. They won 6 of their final 7 Premier League games, form only bettered by the champions Manchester City at the time, but there has been a complete reversal of fortune for the Eagles this season. They're one of 4 teams without a Premier League win. It's their worst start to a season since 7 defeats to open the 2017-18 season. Ball goes back from Chalobah, who's on the right of the defence tonight, with Gay playing on the left-hand side and Lacroix in the centre. So although the personnel hasn't changed in that back three, it does look like they have changed the configuration of it again, Danny Murphy. Is that a problem, that constantly moving people around, changing personnel?
Well, it is, because it shows that you're not settled and you haven't found that right balance, and therefore they're having to tweak it. But sometimes you can stumble on something by accident, or even a bit of luck really, and it's not gone well, so we'll try something different. It could work for them. Gay's comfortable all across the line, to be fair. I think it's probably more for Lacroix.
Hughes volleys the ball from halfway into the left channel. Chasing it is Murillo. He gets there ahead of both Nketiah and Eze and sends the ball out on this near side. You're listening to TalkSport live at the City Ground. Daichi Kamada takes the ball from the throw-in off Tyreek Mitchell, gives it back to halfway. Turning is Gahey into the centre. Kamada's made space and then tries to play it down inside the left channel, looking for either Nketiah or Mitchell, but it was a blind pass and neither of them were there, and Ola Aina and Mitchell are now tussling for the ball down by the corner flag away to our left. The ball deflects into the path of Milinkovic. He manages to clear. It takes a little bobble, goes out. It's away for a Palace throw inside Nottingham Forest territory. 0-0 the score. Nottingham Forest have had a largely positive start to the season, but it has been a while since they won here. Forest hampered by the absence of their manager tonight, but they are in permanent contact. He said he's going to sit up in the stand. In fact, he's supposed to be not too far away from where we are here, halfway up the bottom tier, the only tier of this old Peter Taylor stand, just left of the halfway line overlooking the dugouts. Oliver Glasner down in front of us is wearing a bright pair of white trainers and very tight black slacks as he trots back into his dugout to have a word with one of his coaching staff.
Jumped off the wardrobes again then.
Certainly needed a bit of talcum powder, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Olorena on the near touchline. Gets it back from Alanga, and then it's a bit of a mistake by Yates, who's closed down by Nketiah, but it runs through to Milenkovic, who played twice for Serbia in the international break, and the ball is worked out wide. Here's Alex Moreno on loan from Aston Villa, scampering forward for Nottingham Forest down the left touchline. 3.5 minutes gone, 0-0. Being chased by Hughes, drags them right up the pitch towards the far side, and Hudson-Odoi, who's back on his trusty left-hand side tonight, then returns the ball centrally. It goes back to Alex Moreno, and they'll build on the halfway line. Nottingham Forest.
There's a great example there of the fullback having all the space in the world because Nunez was too preoccupied with Hudson-Odoi, and that's the problem you've got when you play wing-backs against a left winger and a left back, and you stick with the winger. You become outnumbered ahead of you and you give up possession.
Also, the other thing that Moreno loves to do is travel infield and go beyond his winger occasionally and go into that sort of Destiny a doggy position on the inside left channel. Given away by Forest, and Eze's picked it up, got to the edge of the penalty area, shot to the left hand side of the goal, and it's narrowly wide of the upright. Matt Sells was stranded there, picked up by Bericha Eze, and they were backpedaling and they didn't put a tackle in or get close enough to him. He had room to get the shot in, and he wasn't too far away from the left hand upright as we look at it. The goalkeeper's right.
Well, he nicks it off Dominguez, and the great thing about Eze is that he can go both ways. He just shifts his body and hits it with his left, tries to go that top corner. That is inches. Beautiful effort.
He can make such a difference. Palace won one of the 11 games in this last season. To be fair, though, they haven't won any games this season, and he hasn't actually scored this campaign, which is a bit of a concern for Crystal Palace.
Well, he did. At Brentford.
Yeah.
It's not his fault the officials can't do the job. Well, it's true. He scored a legitimate goal.
Yeah, he's 3 goals all come in cup competition so far this campaign. He has had the most shots from outside the box this season in the Premier League. Forward by Hughes, over towards the near side, looking for the run of Nketiah. Across comes Milenkovic, skips infield, plays it out towards the near touchline, and then it's given to Olorena, who tries to scamper down the right. He's blocked by Jefferson Lerma, and Jefferson Lerma is going to be spoken to. And there it is. Well, it's only taken 6 minutes, and Jefferson Lerma has his first yellow card. He absolutely loves them. It's his 30th birthday on Friday, so why not give him an early card? After all, that is now his 65th yellow card in 223 appearances in English football.
I mean, it's a stupid pullback from Lerma. I mean, could argue normally in the middle of the game you'll always get them, but you just think let the game get going, but they don't do that anymore.
It's booked now, which means he's got to go through 85 minutes plus stoppage time, walking a disciplinary tightrope. He is a midfielder, as we've mentioned, that collects a lot of yellow cards, so he's adept to playing with them. 6 minutes gone, 0-0. Ball picked up by Hughes over on the far side. He cuts in and plays it infield to Eze. Eze comes up towards the edge of the centre circle, then plays it back to Gay. Gay wants Mitchell to show for him. He's 15 yards inside opposition territory, plays it infield to Eze, who slows down, then accelerates. He's got gloves on tonight, pokes it forward, gives it to Nketiah, gets blocked off by Ryan Yates. Looked like a foul from here. Referee was standing close to it, said nothing. Here is Elanga going down the right. What a good tackle that was from Gay, who read that perfectly, waited for the intervention, and then stabbed the ball out for a throw-in on this near side.
Well, Glasner's going mad at the ref because Eze got a hand in the face to stop him. It was a free kick, but brilliant tackle from Gay. Gay started the game really well. I know he's not been quite his best at the beginning of the season. A couple of times he's been pressed really quickly and got out of that comfortably and gracefully like the good player he is, but that was one-on-one defending at his best against arguably the quickest player on the pitch.
Talk Sport. On a Monday night, the ball played out towards the left-hand side. Hudson-Odoi cuts it infield, gives it to Anderson, then back towards Milenkovic. It goes wider still onto Ola Aina. Aina then tries to turn it infield. And then he comes forward, gives it to Yates. Yates out towards the near side. Elanga plays it against Mitchell, and it's out for a throw-in. This is TalkSport. Nottingham Forest 0, Crystal Palace 0. Crystal Palace have brought a healthy contingent that are occupying the stand away to our right-hand side, the corner over on that far side, making a healthy noise at this moment in time. And they are still winless this season, but encouragingly for Palace, in their last 3 Premier League seasons in which they failed to win in the first 7 games of the campaign, they have gone on to win the 8th game, which this is. The only Premier League season in which Palace failed to do that was 92-93, and they went on to be relegated. Omens don't mean much in real life, but failing to win games certainly does, Danny, and they've got to get on the board sooner rather than later.
They have, for everybody's sake, in terms of the fans not becoming more restless, players' confidence, belief in what the manager's doing, all those things.
Here is Dean Henderson sending the ball high and long and up over the halfway line. It's taken down by Hughes. Kamada manages to wrestle for it with Yates. He thought that was a foul. The referee didn't. Munoz has picked it up far side. The Colombian is about 15 yards from the edge of the box. He comes infield, finds Kamada, bit of space for him. Maybe to get a shot away. He does. It's straight down the throat of Matt Self. Didn't have any power to it and was an easy grasp for the goalkeeper.
Had a lot of space there. Should have got a better strike on that, even on his weaker foot. Miss-hit it a little bit. Too much space for him on the edge of the box to be getting shots away.
Well pinched by Gahey from Elliot Anderson on halfway, and then one back again by Gahey, given to Mitchell from Kamada, who's under pressure from 2 red shirts, and not sure entirely what he was trying to do there, but he smacked it straight into the midriff of Anderson on halfway. It bounced kindly for Lacroix, and he travels out from the middle of the pitch to send it wide towards the right, collected now by Chalobah, then further on to Munoz to Eze back into the path of Trevor Chalobah, making his second start for Crystal Palace on loan this season from Chelsea. Mitchell then plays it down the touchline again, decides to whack the midriff of another Nottingham Forest player, this time Ola Aina, and it's out for a throw-in on this near touchline. Ola Aina was one of those Nigerian players who was caught up in that scandalous situation in the international break, where they were effectively almost held hostage in Libya, which was an awful situation. That's the way they described it on social media. Captain William Troost-Ekong, formerly of Watford. A very difficult situation, but they didn't end up playing any football as a result of that, but ended up having to spend a lot of time on an aeroplane. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Infield, balls played to Anderson, back to halfway. Murillo of Nottingham Forest, the centre half, plays it along to Milenkovic. Nottingham Forest will see this as an opportunity to gain their first home win of the season. 8 of their 10 points in both Premier League wins this season have come actually on the road rather than here. That continues a trend under Nuno. They've got the ball on this near side, on the far side, and it's picked up by Hudson-Odoi. He almost got the wrong side of 2 midfielders, but couldn't bring the ball down and run at Munoz, so comes in field. It's a little bit sideways rather than direct from Nottingham Forest, and then Yates sends it back towards the halfway line. And when they've got the speedsters of Elanga and Hudson-Odoi on either flanks, what they want is to either suck Palace onto them so they can pull the ball over the top, or get a fast break on when Palace are attacking.
Yeah. I think that generally is the plan for them. A little bit different when Palace drop off at times, and then they're faced with a more congested block, if you like, to try and get through. It's more difficult to play in behind then, but Palace will be the happier of the two to start this game.
Here is Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side. They're getting away from the Crows. Dived in and didn't get the ball. It's pulled back to the edge of the area. It's a bit behind Yates, who's on the edge of the D. He gets felled by Kamada. Referee says play on. It's kept alive by Anderson, who's turned, shot. It's blocked into the air. Comes out on this near side. Retrieved by Elanga. He's kept it in. Infield it goes to Aina. Miscontrolled it. Giving it away to Kamada, who's then found Eze, and he's moved the ball forward quickly, and a chance now for Palace to break at speed. Munoz far side. Forest get back into shape well, and Palace's attack peters out very quickly, and Munoz is spared by the referee's whistle, who gives a foul against Alex Moreno. They're sort of playing Palace are playing Nottingham Forest at their own game in a bit, really, because one of the things that, if you had a look at the way they play Nottingham Forest, is they're quite happy for you to have the ball in a lot of matches. And at the moment it's the other way round. Here's Nketiah into the penalty area, played in by Eze down the right channel. His shot is saved by Matt Sells. He didn't quite catch it properly as he tried to send it back across the goalkeeper, and it's caught by the Belgian and cleared away.
It's another good move though. That man Eze involved again in those central areas, picking it up. Hard for him to pick him up for Forest, because he's so quick when he gets that powerful. Plays it a little bit behind Nketiah. Couldn't wrap his foot around it to get the power. Difficult chance. The right idea.
I think we came here expecting a low-scoring game between these two teams that haven't scored too many goals this campaign in the Premier League. Watching on, just keeping an eye on proceedings, is the England interim boss, Lee Carsley, in attendance tonight. Still got one cap to take charge of before Thomas Tuchel takes it full time. Here's Elanga running at rapid speed, getting to the edge of the penalty area, running into the defender, going down, wanting a free kick. Tim Robinson, who's let a lot go so far, likes his finger and says no free kick. Anderson chests it down. Kamada comes across. Anderson rolls the ball around him and then turns and thrusts it out to Milenkovic. Milenkovic onto Ola Aina, near side the right. It's a bit slow paced this from Nottingham Forest. They need a bit of acceleration. Elanga usually provides that. He plays it infield. Anderson back down the right, looking for Elanga, who heads the ball into the air, but it was a difficult ball to deal with. And Gehi takes a difficult ball, turns it into an easy one, and clears it.
Started so well.
He is elegant, isn't he? Reads the game so well. I thought it was brilliant actually for England in Finland the other night. Here's Anderson skipping past a couple of challenges. Knew he could get past Lerma because Lerma couldn't dive in. Moreno sends it left. Hudson-Odoi wants to come in on that right foot. Does that. Gets the shot away. Blocked by the defender. Skipping forward is Anderson. Goes past two. Then sends the shot goalwards. It's turned behind by Henderson. It's out for a corner.
Clever little run. Come out to Anderson on the edge of the box, and he decides, I'm going to go myself. Gets a little ricochet on the way through, but nice and positive. Good quick feet. Good save down at a near post from Henderson.
Corner about to come in from the far side. First of the game for Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood standing at the back post. Hasn't really got involved in the game much so far, Chris Wood, but he is a real danger. Been pivotal for them in the last 10 months. Ball in towards the far post. It's coming round the back. Is Wood, and he heads the ball goalwards, and it's spooned away by Henderson.
Should have scored. Header from 4 or 5 yards out. Should have scored.
Well, Yates had got up and glanced the header across the face of goal. Wood's coming round the back, headed the ball down. Chris Wood almost got there. Might get to this one. Does get to this one, but steers it over the bar. Chris Wood diving header as the ball goes in towards the penalty spot. He went diving towards goal, and it went narrowly over the top of the crossbar.
What a ball into Wood that was for the header.
Elliot Anderson with a curling, arcing delivery, picking out Wood, and Chris Wood went diving towards it.
It's a brilliant ball, very hard to defend, and you expect Wood to hit the target with his aerial prowess. Two great chances for him. Lerma, I think it was, who stopped that first one on the line.
Yeah, it was.
Much better from Forest.
Well, he has been such a threat. He's now one goal short of becoming only the third player to reach 20 Premier League goals for Nottingham Forest, following Brian Roy and Stan Collymore.
Brian Roy, good player.
Remember him?
Yeah, of course. Dutch.
Yeah, we had him on actually during the European Championships. Oliver Geisner's not too happy. He's losing his temper on the near touchline in the dugout, just sitting back and...
Well, I'd be angry because one of their main goal threat, one of their best headers of the ball, was free on the back post of a set play.
Throw in on this near touchline to be taken by Ola Aina. Palace, who have been struggling to take control of games, they've only been leading for 37 minutes in any Premier League match so far, have had two chances which could have been Nottingham Forest goals. You're listening to Forest 0, Palace 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget, you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract with Now, like Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace, live right now. Search Now Sports.
I think that second one, sometimes when it's such a wonderful cross in like that with such bend and pace, it's nearly perfect. It's very hard to defend those, but the first one, the set play, we talk about set plays every game, don't we, now, how important they've become, seem to have become. They've always been important, but
especially now they've got all these set piece stages.
Teams working on them so much, but your main threat is left free on the back post. It's just basic stuff.
It's two big chances for Chris Wood in the last couple of minutes, and Nuno Espirito Santo, who I think is sitting in the glass box away to our right hand side, which we can't see into but he can see out of, will be pretty pleased with the way his team open them up. What he won't be pleased with is the finishes. Here is Hughes into the box, his cross is deep, it's chested down by Aina, back to his goalkeeper, and Nottingham Forest have possession of it once again. And Crystal Palace had that clinical edge at the end of last season. That's what their success towards the end of the last campaign was built on, but they haven't even included Mateta from the start tonight. They brought him off the bench against Liverpool and he did make a huge difference. There has been a massive drop-off in their goal output, and also in Dean Henderson's save statistics as well. But they've also lost their mainstays, Elise and Anderson, which I think have really contributed to that. Even Edouard and Ayew have moved on, and those two were contributors to goals as well. The 6 new signings that they brought in have not yet contributed a goal between them. Eddie Nketiah looking to change that as he picks the ball up on halfway, runs towards the edge of the box, right footed shot, and it's just the outside of the post. I think it might have hit the stanchion. It was a powerful effort from 25 yards out, and Matt Sells went sprawling. He wasn't confident at all that wasn't going to nestle in the top corner, and it nearly did.
Well, Yates gave it away, poor play in the middle of the pitch, Kamada winning it back, and Nketiah thinks, I'm going. Takes it early from quite a way out. What a strike.
It did hit the top of the crossbar.
When it's not going for you, it's not going. That's actually hit the joint, hasn't it? Yeah. Right in the corner, but the post and the crossbar. Brilliant effort. See, when things are going for you, not just individually, collectively as well, they go in.
That was a good effort from Eddie Nketiah.
Hell of an effort, yeah.
Someone who is definitely linked with Nottingham Forest in the summer. He's had Crystal Palace's best chance of the game so far. 21 minutes gone.
It wasn't really a chance.
Well, he's made the best chance.
Yeah.
Ball switched out towards the near side after a lovely bit of trickery from Murillo, who's one of the most adored players in Gary Baldy Red. Supporters Player of the Year last season. Here's Elanga cutting in field, nudging it back to halfway. Nico Dominguez sends it forward, collected by Alex Moreno. He's crossing to the box, he's aimed towards Wood, headed away by Lacroix. Chasing it is Elanga, looking to keep it alive. He does that, sets it back. Now it's with Aina. They need to get it in quickly. It goes short into Yates instead. Back to Elanga. He will cross the ball towards the far post, and Wood was coming in again. And Chalobah got there first. Don't know what the goalkeeper was doing, but he completely lost sight of the ball. It went over his head, and Chalobah had to nick it behind for a corner.
Yeah, good defending, but the reason they're getting so many crosses in so comfortably is because of the fullbacks. Fullbacks are free in oceans of space, because the 2 wing-backs from Palace are dropping in to try and take the wingers, who are a real threat. got to get that balance right between when they come out and when they drop off, otherwise it'll be a long evening for them.
Here's the corner then, far side, taken by Elanga. Second of the game for Nottingham Forest. It's a deeper one towards Wood again. It's headed away, back into the centre it goes. Yates heads it down, across the face to go off the post, comes out, and Yates is denied. So close to another big opportunity. In fact, it was a big opportunity. It should have been a goal for Nottingham Forest. Then Nketiah drags them up the other end. Elliot Anderson brings them down. Going to be a free kick. Referee's just going to go and check on Ryan Yates. He seems to be down inside the 6-yard box away to our right and needing a bit of attention. He is happy to get stuck in, the captain. He hasn't scored here since April 2022. He might not ever get closer without doing so.
Yeah, it's unlucky. I think he just gets caught maybe by Gahey. A little clash of heads as he tries to stop the header on goal. He tries to arch his neck to send it to that far post. Doesn't have enough bend on it to touch the head. Yeah, he's clashed his heads with Gahey.
Well, as a result of that, all of the players have come over to get on board some fluids. 22 and a half minutes gone. You're listening to Nottingham Forest 0, Crystal Palace 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all your business needs. The two Martins, Keown and Martin O'Neill, with Jim White this morning, very entertaining, absolutely cracking me up at one stage, although I think Martin Keown ended up cracking up himself at one point with some of the stuff he was coming out with, but he certainly is nothing if not an entertaining fella, but he is that exchange is available on the TalkSport YouTube channel. It's also available if you want to listen again on the TalkSport app. Tomorrow, Jim White and Simon back together again, and Danny Murphy's in from 10 o'clock, is that right?
Wednesday is that?
Wednesday you're in. Looking forward to that.
I think I'm with you Friday as well.
You're with me Friday, are you?
I think so. Well, you're in
Istanbul, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to the game, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
I'll be on with you in the morning.
And you're going to be back here in Blighty, are you?
Yes.
We've got room to take you there if you want to come.
Be a good game.
Will be a good game. Looking forward to that. It's live on TalkSport on Thursday night. Fenerbahce against Manchester United. Key game for Erik ten Hag. They're all key games at the moment. Here is Elanga on the near side as we get back underway. Yates has been helped out, although he's not quite back on the field yet. Down the left-hand side, Nketiah trying to weave his way into the box, gets it onto his right foot, tight angle from the left side, pulls it straight into the goalkeeper's near post.
Do you know what? Nketiah has done all the hard work and then selfishly tried to shoot, and there were two great options. He's come down the left-hand side, he's run at people, he's been positive.
Well, he's back on now, Ryan Yates, from the far side. Rui Pedro Silva, who is the assistant coach of Nottingham Forest,
he's got to do better there.
Getting in the earful of the fourth official. Who's got to do better?
Eddie Nketiah, because he got himself in such a wonderful position, didn't get his head up. He was off balance to try and shoot. Poor defending from Dominguez, by the way, letting him get through there, but more chances than I expected.
Well, Crystal Palace have hit the woodwork. Nottingham Forest have hit the woodwork. Chris Wood's had two other chances, but it's still 0-0, and we play 25 minutes. You're listening to TalkSport. Ball out of play over on the far side. And who do you think is going to be the happier of the two coaches, Oliver Glasner or the assistant coach of Nottingham Forest at this moment in time?
I think Glasner initially, because they started quite well, but he'll be a bit concerned about how many chances they've given away.
Nketiah again picking the ball up down the right side. I mean, he's literally at a 20-degree angle. There was no chance of him being able to get that on target. He swiped at the ball, it went into the side netting and it out for a goal kick away to a left.
There's a couple of times Nketiah's got himself into really good positions, but he shouldn't be shooting. He should be either holding the ball up or looking for runners or teammates who are in better positions, but he's obviously so desperate to get off the mark as any striker would be, but he's got to curb that desire and think more logically, because that was a 1 in a million shot from there.
Only goal so far has come in the League Cup for Crystal Palace, not scored in the Premier League for nearly a year. £30 million from Arsenal. And starting up front again tonight, Eddie Nketiah. Scoring goals away from home has certainly been a big issue for Crystal Palace. Last season it was. They are currently the joint lowest away scorers in the league this season too. But they have the ball deep inside their own half, and it's with Maxence Lecroix, who brought in at Glasnow's insistence.
What a great ball.
Sent to Gahey, he sends it forward, picked up by Nketiah. Nketiah works it wide. Here's Munoz, who's crossed into the box. He's aimed towards Kamada, doesn't connect at all well. Kicks it into the ground, and it goes into the arms of Matt Sells, and Nottingham Forest have a chance to bring it out. Aina sends it into the channel. Lecroix comes across. Wood joins him, tries to put him under pressure, but Lecroix does well.
Well, this time Nketiah did get the ball and make the right pass out to the right for Muniz, and it was a great ball in. And Kamada, I mean, how many times you get yourself in those positions? You've got to be ready. It seems like he wasn't ready for it. Miskicked it into the grounds. Poor finish.
His only goal for Crystal Palace came against Norwich in the League Cup. Here is Munoz, good cross into the box, looking for Eze, but it was an easy one for Yates to deal with. Anderson's picked it up and immediately hooks it into the left channel for Hudson-Odoi to chase for Chalobah. Those two former Chelsea teammates. A little bit of a late challenge by Munoz, which is going to result in a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Just a step in from the left touchline. It's a bit of a clumsy one from the Colombian. And when you think what happened earlier in the game when Jefferson Lerma was booked for tugging someone back, would that not have qualified as a yellow card?
I don't think so. No? I think it's a little nibble at the ball and he just caught him. It's interesting looking at Palace with Kamada and Will Hughes either side of Lerma and Eze kind of floating in behind Nketiah. It's not as we thought. We talked about his rigidity in his formation. He has actually tweaked it a little bit with the way they've set up.
Yeah,
only a fraction.
Yeah, they're almost playing as two more narrow number 10s, aren't they? Kamada and Eze.
Yes, but actually Kamada's a little bit deeper at times. Yeah. But yeah, I see what you mean. But we expected a right and a left side, yes, and he's just tweaked it.
Ball headed into the box. Wood chasing it. It's flicked away by Chalobah. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes it down the side of the box, left-hand side. Tries to get the cross in. Comes off the defender, goes behind and away for a corner kick to Nottingham Forest. And they've already caused a bit of chaos from these in the game so far.
Good header from Chalobah, that wasn't it? Nice, dominant. Started well, Chalobah.
Nice, good player. Good, solid defender.
Should still be at Chelsea, maybe, in some people's opinion.
Possibly. It certainly was a big part of their success towards the end of last season, that is for sure. Here's the corner, over on the far side. Elanga into the near post, headed down, almost came through the wood, but it was a bit behind him, couldn't get hold of it. And it's scooted out to the far side. Nottingham Forest just gradually just starting to assert their authority on the game. 30 minutes gone, 0-0. And for the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get a Forest win at 6-4, Palace to win 12-5, and the draw is 17-10. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, BigGambleAware.org. Here is Matt Sells, clipping the ball from the edge of his own penalty area, the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper, out to the far side. Hudson-Odoi was in an offside position, the flag went up, they lost the ball anyway, so the referees allowed play on, and Crystal Palace bring it forward. Lecroix to Lerma. A couple of Nottingham Forest players warming up down in front of us. Willy Bolly, one of those, getting a ovation from the supporters down in front of us. A warm welcome for Taiwo Awoniyi as well, as a few Crystal Palace players just going through their paces. Joe Ward amongst them. Here is Mark Gay, the England centre-half, Crystal Palace captain. Rolls his studs over the ball, then clips it into the air and sends it to Chalobah. Those two actually long-term teammates at Chelsea. They played in a Youth Cup final about 6 years ago together. Ball won by Murillo, and he's turned it over quickly and sent it up towards Elanga. Good tackle by Kamada, who managed to get enough on that from a very difficult position, wrap his leg around Elanga and nudge it away to safety, and Palace have got it back again.
I think Aina was a Chelsea boy as well, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah.
It's amazing how many players have come through the Chelsea Academy playing at a really high level.
Well, tonight you've got Ola Aina, you've got Hudson-Odoi, you've got Trevor Chalobah, Mark Gahey. I think Tyreek Mitchell was there for a little while as well at one point.
Don't know about that one.
Quick look around the rest of the squad, see if I can find any more, but there was certainly quite a few. That's quite a few to have come through the academy and be playing in one match tonight. A lot of them actually played in those Youth Cup successes at the mid to late 2010s. Here's Elliot Anderson, formerly of Newcastle United. They didn't want to let him go. Ball played out to the right side, picked up by Olorena, looks to chop infield, plays it out wide towards Anthony Elanga. Elanga nudges it forward, then it goes infield towards Yates. Yates gets it onto his left foot, then sends it out towards Moreno. He strikes, blocked by a sliding Will Hughes, and his blonde hair flickering under the floodlights, and then as the ball breaks and is a chase on for the ricocheting ball, Nketiah is fouled by Moreno and a free kick is given, which takes the pressure off Crystal Palace with 13 minutes to go before the half-time whistle.
We've just settled again, Palace, after that good spell Forest had and those chances we talked about.
Brentford, I think Tyreek Mitchell was out, not Chelsea.
Yeah, I didn't think you were right. Just thought I'd let you find it out for yourself.
Just, check it out. Certainly West London. I knew I'd seen him hanging around the horns. Is it? Looking to try and play it down the right-hand side. Cut out by Moreno. It's nudged into Hudson-Odoi. He gallops over halfway. Plays it into the path of Wood. Wood sends it back. Collected by Hudson-Odoi. And then it goes all the way back to Alex Moreno again. 0-0. And there are signs that Nottingham Forest are going to create chances in this game. If a Crystal Palace goal is going to come, Danny, it's probably going to come on the breakaway.
Yeah, but they do look dangerous. But, when they do break away, they've got themselves in some good positions. But I tend to agree with you. The longer the half's gone on, Forest have looked a bit more confident and accomplished.
Here's Elanga down the right side, trying to spin past Tyreek Mitchell. Good challenge by him, goes out of play. I mean, I heard you talk about him a little bit earlier on in the England squad and why he wasn't in it. But what could possibly be the reasons why he isn't in the squad? Because he's one-on-one defending, he's very good, and we saw that in the game against Liverpool when he came up against Salah.
I think we've become a little bit obsessed with full-backs who can fly forward and create and be a real threat on the other way, and he's, I think, arguably his strength's the one-on-one defending and his tenacity. I'm not saying he can't play, I'm saying that that's his strength, and when we play for England, because we dominate teams, maybe they'd rather a left-back who's maybe a bit more, what's the word?
Progressive.
Yeah, I think that's fair. A bit more progressive and willing to take a few more risks going forward or with his passing. But I like him. I think he's really solid. And considering we've been playing right foot as a left back for God knows how long, I'm amazed he's not in the squad. I mean, even in the last game, I thought Colwell would have played there.
Here's Dominguez for Nottingham Forest. Into Anderson, back to Dominguez again. And he gets it forward. Gay's ball into Nketiah. It's flicked round the corner, but Gallagher's not going to get there. And it's tied up by Dominguez and given back to his goalkeeper from about 10 yards outside the box. Inside the box, Matt Sells rolls it into the midfield. That's a couple of times now that Nketiah has got to do better from Danny Murphy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's such a threat, but there's occasions where he's got to do the basics right, which is good ball up to you. You either get hold of it or you make sure your pass is delivered. You make sure you keep the ball for your team.
And Mark Gahey thought that the free kick had been given against him. He started complaining to Tim Robinson, and Tim Robinson said, "No, I've given you the free kick for offside." It's back there. Bit of confusion. Here is Mitchell playing it down the left side and looked to try and play it into an area for Nketiah. Didn't reach it. It's away by Dominguez, covering his fullback. And it's away for another throw. Midway inside the Nottingham Forest half, and those yellow shirts, Crystal Palace trying to come forward. It's nudged down the line by Mitchell. There was a collision off the ball involving Milinkovic and Nketiah. Milinkovic, who you'll remember from the summer, gave Harry Kane a torrid time in the Serbia game. And he looks like he could do a bit of harm to Nketiah if he fancied it as well, doesn't he? He's massive.
Well, sometimes a sharp little and likes playing against a big one.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just got to find where you can cause him problems, and that's getting into his feet and getting inside the box so he can't commit to you, but they haven't got there very often. Interesting
long throw routine, which was sent towards goal with Nonsense Clark standing right under the goalkeeper. Forrest have cleared it. Wood has chased it. Chalobah's used his body to protect the ball and draw the foul from the New Zealander, which got a well done from Danny Murphy. 5 yards inside the Palace territory. And Palace, after suffering a little bit under the weight of a bit of Forest pressure, have just killed that momentum off now. The ground a little bit hushed around us here. The big independent stand away to our left-hand side of the Trent end is full to brimming once again. It is a very strange sort of jigsaw of a stadium, bit of a relic of the success that they had in the 70s and 80s. They do have designs to sort of spruce it up over the next few years. Some parts of the ground have already had the refurbishment treatment. This one is expected to be knocked down, or certainly modified, with another tier going on top of it. Well, that's not going to happen for a couple of seasons yet. Here is Chalobah, deep inside his own half, plays it centrally. Lacroix comes forward into Eze. I mean, Eze got the ball, laid it off, and then ran into Dominguez, so he got the foul.
Got to keep getting him the ball. That's how Palace. If Palace going to do anything this game, win this game, got to get Eze on the ball as often as they can. Just keep giving it him, keep feeding it like this. Just let him, if he's going to lose a few, it doesn't matter, you just keep giving him the ball.
Well, he's been integral to Crystal Palace over the last few years. At his form at the end of the last season, he was scoring or assisting a third of their goals in that 7-game run at the end of the last campaign. But he has just 1 goal from 41 shots and chances in the Premier League this season. Is that because the team is not functioning properly and getting him the ball in the right areas?
Yeah, I think they've obviously their lack of confidence and fluidity has meant that he's not getting as much of the ball in dangerous areas as he did when Elise was there and when they were confident and winning games. But he's actually got himself in the games I've watched into really good areas and been actually quite unlucky. You know, a lot of efforts like the one earlier on in this game that just flew past it. You know, he's getting himself in shooting range. The goals will come. He's got so much quality. The goals will come.
Well, after a delay about this free kick, Eze's now trotted from a central area to take it himself. He puts his left hand in the air. That's caused a bit of confusion amongst the Nottingham Forest support, think he's taking too long. He swings the ball into the box, Mario heads it away, and there was a bit of pushing going on at the back post, which the referee didn't like anyway and called a foul. Eddie Nketiah throws the ball back and away to the edge of the box, and Milenkovic wants him booked for delaying the restart.
If that was a foul from Muniz, I think, or Lacroix, I'm not sure, but it was nowhere near where the ball was. Ridiculous foul to give away when you're in such a good position, and the ball was good going in swinger from the left, from Eze, swinging in towards the goal, and someone makes a stupid little foul, the pressure's on.
Morgan Gibbs-White is sitting just behind the dugout. He's got a beige beanie hat on tonight. James Ward-Prowse, dressed a little bit more soberly, is sitting in the row behind him, watching on as his team at this moment in time struggles to break down Crystal Palace. They've had a couple of good chances, hit the outside of the woodwork, and had 2 headers which were stopped by a combination of goalkeeper and midfielder in Jefferson Lerma.
But it's one of the worst feelings, sitting in the stand.
Is it?
When you're suspended or injured.
Why?
Because you can't do anything. It's more frustrating than when you're on the pitch.
And do you sit there and think, I would have done this or I would have done that?
I used to get really angry, and then if I was injured, I wasn't injured very often, thankfully, but when I was, I'd rather usually not go to the game because I'd just get too angry and too frustrated.
Would you shout?
Yeah. A lot of effing and jeffing.
Really? Aina picks the ball up, runs forward, loses his left boot, and that's going to be a yellow card for Daichi Kamada as a result of that.
He's got to do more, Kamada. He's got to do more. He's all right, neat and tidy, get the ball now and again, pass safe. He hasn't contributed a shot really. Well, he has. He miskicked one into the ground early on, but he's not, for the experience he's got and the level he's played at, he should be bringing more to this team.
Yeah, well, Eddie Nketiah has already contributed a couple of shots. In fact, he's had 4 shots in this game. The most he's ever had in the Premier League match is 6, and that was for Arsenal against Manchester United in January 2023. So he's certainly not shy.
No, two of them were from the wrong angles, and he shouldn't. They were selfish.
Ball delivered into the box. Out comes the goalkeeper, and this time Henderson takes charge over the top of Lacroix.
I like that. I like Henderson coming out, helping his defenders out, catching it, calming the situation down. We don't see enough from goalkeepers. The basics of goalkeeping: command your box, catch the ball, take the pressure off.
3 minutes to go before half-time. It's 0-0 on TalkSport. Tomorrow night, Aston Villa against Bologna is on TalkSport. TalkSport 2 has Leeds against Watford from the Championship. Wednesday night, we've got more Champions League football for you. Thursday night, Europa League. Friday night, we're back in the Premier League with Nottingham Forest. And they go to Leicester.
Are you going?
Sadly, in Istanbul.
Of course you are, yeah.
I couldn't do Istanbul and be on the radio with you and get to Leicester. Believe me, I tried.
Quite a long flight.
It is. We tried, but we couldn't quite do it, sadly. Given half a chance, I would have been there. Here is Eze, up towards Nketiah, back into Kamada, back infield to Gay. And it's turned around the corner by Elanga, and they look to try and break, and Eze, well, I mean, it looked like he committed a foul. Anderson certainly thought so. Referee said play on. He got the ball, and now it's with Munoz, who gets to the edge of the box, tries to play a reverse pass into Kamada. It's cleared away by Murillo and goes out over on the far side.
Good decision.
The ball again.
Been pleasing after the early booking how the refs let the game go. You know, we're the first to I'll rephrase that. I'm the first to criticise, but I'll also praise when a referee knows what players are like and just let it go, because it stops them rolling around, making fools of themselves.
Just waiting to see what words you were going to use there. Here's Munoz into the box right side, and notice I didn't help you out. I was letting you do it yourself. Chalobah went running down the right hand side, collided with Hudson-Odoi, and then the ball deflected behind. Now,
oh no,
he's not going to give is he going to give a free kick on the edge of the box or a corner? What's he going to give here? I think he's going to give a corner kick. I don't think it might be a free kick on the edge of the box actually.
Didn't look much in it, did there?
No. Maybe it's the corner, maybe he's not giving anything at all, but Chalobah is hobbling away from it, doesn't look particularly happy about it at all. I think it is just going to be a corner, Danny.
Might have been a knee in the calf, or it's hard to see on that one replay that we've seen, but Palace do not need to be losing him at this stage.
Well, he doesn't look particularly comfortable. He's hobbling like an octogenarian with a walking stick towards the back edge of the penalty area. Someone over the age of 80, Danny. Here is Eze back towards the edge of the box. Hughes sends it into the near post. It's carried away by Chalobah, and then thrusted forward back towards Chalobah, who's involved in another collision. He's gone down. He looks even worse injured this time. Picked up right side by Eze, sent in towards the box, takes a deflection, ricochets into the path of Nketiah, then breaks down to Eze once again. He chips his way into the box, unleashed a shot. He hits the defender, comes back out. Chalobah's bounced back up. He's managed to shoot. That won't go down well. Then there's a foul by Hughes on the edge of the box. It's going to be a free kick to Forest, and the ironic cheers from the Nottingham Forest fans give you an indication that they weren't particularly happy about Chalobah going down wrong and getting back up again.
I do have to say, for someone who's top and does all the good, the basics well, Yates, and he's the captain of his team, he doesn't have to dive a lot,
2 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45 on TalkSport. It hasn't been a swashbuckling, chance-laden, entertaining game, but there's been one or two big moments in it. Nottingham Forest have had 3 good chances. On another day, they may well have got in front.
I thought the first half was good. It was open and there was some chances, and it's just last 15-20 minutes it's got a bit scrappy. Great ball.
Gay playing it, drilling it out towards the far side, getting Palace up the pitch in those yellow shirts. Last act of the first half, maybe there's something in it for them. We haven't been happy with the second half of the first half, but hopefully the first half of the second half is much better.
Yes, absolutely. And the second half of the second half.
Yes. And then we'll all be happy. In fact, then there will be 3
Do you like
halves.
yellow kits?
Do I like yellow kits?
Yeah, you're just talking about Palace away. Are you a fan of yellow kits?
No. I don't like yellow kits, no. Mainly because I'm sitting next to an Ipswich Town fan. If I say that I do like them, I will get probably hit. And she's already hit me once tonight.
I thought you would like them.
Why?
Match your teeth.
Why do you think I'm going to Turkey this week?
I knew that, yeah. Get the hair redone.
Again. Here's Anderson down the left-hand side, looking for Hudson-Odoi. He goes into the corner. He's being chased by Lacroix, who goes out towards the touchline. A lovely little touch into Anderson. His cross is brilliant. Wood is there! And he gets hold of it, but he can't steer it beyond Henderson. Oh, it's a brilliant delivery by Anderson. A brilliant way to end the first half. Well, it might not have been a perfect first 45 minutes in terms of entertainment, but that was almost a perfect delivery from Elliot Anderson. On the right-hand side, getting it back up Hudson-Odoi. He drifted the ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the New Zealander, Chris Wood, was diving in, and he almost touched it past Henderson. He just couldn't get enough purchase upon it. Nottingham Forest haven't won at the City Ground since April, and they may well have to be a little bit more clinical if they're going to change that. Chris Wood's had 3 good chances, but at half-time it's still 0-0. Yeah, and I remember going actually to a Youth Cup semi-final involving Norwich at Carrow Road and Nottingham Forest. And Nottingham Forest had a healthy contingent that year that went down with them, and they were always great occasions actually. The one of the great things about the Youth Cup is that in the latter round you have to play it in the main stadium, which is good for the players. We're underway at the start of the second half, and Nottingham Forest shooting from right to left at the start of this second 45, and Crystal Palace left to right in those yellow jerseys, yellow shorts and yellow socks. It's the Gary Bawley red of Nottingham Forest, white shorts and red socks that have possession of the football at this moment in time. No changes at half-time, so the teams look as they did at the end of the first half. Matt Sells is the goalkeeper. Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo and Moreno are the back 4. Yates, Anderson and Dominguez, and then Hudson-Odoi and Elanga on the flanks, with Chris Wood, who's had 3 great opportunities in that first half, didn't take them, leading the line for Forest. For Crystal Palace, they've got Henderson in goal, the back 3 of Lacroix, Gay and Chalobah playing on the right of those, Lacroix in the middle, and they've got some work to do now because Aina has charged forward, played it out towards the right. Elanga tries to tease Mitchell, sends a cross into the box towards Wood, headed away by Chalobah, back by Elanga to the edge of the area. It comes to Dominguez, who pokes it forward, did it hit a hand, then it comes to the edge of the box and Alex Moreno who cracks it, eventually fended away by Lerma, and then Mitchell gets it out to the far side, but he miskicks it and it goes straight out of play. Henderson the goalkeeper then for Crystal Palace. Lacroix, Gay, Chalobah the back 3, Munoz on the right hand side, Mitchell on the left, Hughes and Lerma in the centre. Lerma has been booked, and then Eze and Kamada playing deeper behind Nketiah, who leads the line. Danny Murphy with me. What are you expecting in the second half?
I expect Palace to be a bit better in terms of keeping the ball a bit better and playing through the lines. They're capable. We've seen them do it at the end of last season. Expect Forest to up the tempo a little bit more intensity this second half from both teams. I think as the game goes on, Forest especially will feel that this game's there for the taking, which might create space for Palace. The last meeting between these two in March finished in a draw. More draws in the Premier League at this stage than ever before, by the way, so that was probably the smart bet tonight, really. 30% of all games so far this campaign have been drawn, which is the highest percentage in 25 years. The last 3 Premier League meetings have been draws between these two since Nottingham Forest's 1-0 win at the City Ground against Palace in November 2022. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi on this near side, the left as Forest look at it. He pokes it further down the touchline, looking for Moreno. Was this not a Monday night game last year? Did we not cover this last season?
Well, we might have done towards the end, was it? We definitely did quite a few Nottingham Forest games.
Yeah, we did.
The end, didn't we?
We did. I'm pretty sure we did. Or maybe I'm wrong. I think it was a draw then.
Well, the last 2 Premier League meetings, as I said, were draws, so you're probably right. Here
Well,
is
if I'm not, it'll be the first time since about, I don't know, 2014.
Longer back than that, Danny. Milenkovic tries to win from the header on the near side. That's cut out brilliantly by Ola Aina. One back by Hudson-Odoi. Into the box goes Anderson. Tricks his way down the left. Plays it to Moreno. Low ball into the penalty area. Cut away by Lacroix, who's on the edge of the 6-yard box. And there wasn't really enough red shirts attacking that area, and it was poked away by the Frenchman. And once again, Palace have found themselves under the cosh at the beginning of the second half.
Well, it was Elliot Anderson's positivity again in trying to beat people and run at people. Just been watching him the first 5 minutes. He's not stopped moving, trying to get on the ball and make things happen. Real energy about him, and fitness, desire to get on it.
Wood takes the ball out of the sky, looks after the ball well, plays it infield to Dominguez. Dominguez's cross is not the greatest. Yates was on the edge of the area and he wanted it pulled back, but there was no one inside the box for him to cross it to. He went long in the end. Elanga has retrieved it, goes to the edge of the area, little 1-2, gives it back to Elanga, and it's crossed to the edge of the 6-yard box, but Anderson wasn't close enough to it, and again there wasn't enough bodies in the box. It's cleared away by Lacroix.
He rushed that, Elanga. It was good play down the right hand side, nice little give and go, and he found himself free on that side one of the first times, and he just didn't get his head out, he just thrashed at it a little bit.
Ball cleared from inside, deep inside the Palace half, but comes back again, and Anderson is trying to drive into the box once more. Just lost his balance at the crucial moment and then lost the ball as a result. Now Palace go on the hunt down the left-hand side with Eze tight to the touchline, comes back into the centre field. It's collected by Gay, drives it forward. Lerma, who drives it forward onto Nketiah, who pokes it round the corner looking for Eze, doesn't quite reach him. Murillo away, and then Gay takes it out of the sky beautifully. Last season, Forest won, Palace won. Saturday afternoon.
Wasn't then?
Danny is wrong, says the note that's been passed to me.
We did do a Monday night here, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a few. Yeah. Had some fun, if I remember rightly. Here is Munoz getting into the box for Palace, trying to latch onto the end of something, doesn't quite come off, and it's cleared away by Nottingham Forest. We did a Southampton game here, I think, towards the end of the campaign. I think that might be the one you're thinking of.
I think we did, maybe.
Here is Kamada. Back to the edge of the centre circle, and Hughes. Adrian's checking it again. We're going to get another note. Here on the right side, Munoz delivers across into the box.
That's poor. First time they've had an attack.
It was a poor delivery. He just hit it first time and it went straight out of play.
Well, did we do Villa? Forest Villa. I think we did Villa on a Monday night.
He's writing us another note. Here we go. Hold on a second. Southampton were championship last season. You didn't win.
I didn't. It was Sam's suggestion. I just went along with it.
It was the season before we did Southampton.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was Villa. I think we did Villa here.
Do you know when someone's sending you notes and you're reading them out whilst you're live on there commentating a football match, it means the football match is not great. Ball flicked on by Anderson from the long goal kick from Sells. He picks it up again, Anderson, and tries to squeeze it through into the path of Wood. He was stopped from reaching it by Gay's alertness.
Again, he's trying. He's getting on it. He's getting in positions where he can get on the ball, and he's trying to force
It's a terrific play. I mean, they sold for 32 million quid, and they did not want to lose him, but they had to do it for PSR reasons, Newcastle United.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about half time. You'd have known if you hadn't gone off somewhere.
Well, I had to go and get some water because you nicked my bottle of water before the start of the game.
Well, you kicked mine over on the way out.
That was mine that you nicked. Here is Lacroix.
Can you call it stealing when it's free?
I didn't call it stealing, I said nicked. So, nicked off me.
Okay.
Lacroix, centre circle. Ball's in the same place as it was before Danny's little moment. Munoz has it on the near touchline, right side, halfway up inside the Forest territory, crosses the ball into the box, is flicked by Nketiah, comes back to it, left-footed shot, goalkeeper saves, Kamada misses from 3 yards out. Oh, it's an absolute sitter. He's going to be spared by the offside flag, I think, but either way, he did not know. And I actually think it's closer than 3 yards. He has kicked the ball straight at the goalkeeper, and Matt Sells, very lucky. Nottingham Forest, very lucky.
Well, it's a cross from the right-hand side that falls to Eze, and I think that would have been allowed if it went in, because he wasn't in line. It come out to Kamada, and that is poor. He tries to knee it over the keeper. He missed it one in a similar, well, a bit further out in the first half in a great position. That's a player with very little confidence.
Well, Daichi Kamada, whose only goal came in the League Cup, he won the Europa League with Glasner at Eintracht Frankfurt. He's yet to really transition to English football with a similar sort of swagger and influence that he had in that team. Here's Nketiah. Murillo has timed his tackle. Nketiah's got away. He tees up Will Hughes, who strikes it against the defender. And it's cleared away by Nottingham Forest, but that was a good break by Palace, who went down the left-hand side with speed. Nketiah sucked in Murillo and went past him brilliantly with a little feint, and then pulled the ball back for Hughes on the edge of the penalty area. But they did brilliantly to get back the Nottingham Forest defenders.
Well, it was brilliant from Nketiah, a great little bit of skill, and as he comes in here, he sees Will Hughes on the edge of the box, pulls it back, and if Hughes can get his head up just a little, pass it on one more, I think it was Munoz on the right-hand side for a tap-in, but he didn't have the vision to see the man coming on his right-hand side. Great opportunity.
Oh, it was a good opportunity for Crystal Palace, who haven't won here since the year the Premier League was conceived. Bryan Adams released Everything I Do It For You in the Robin Hood film. John Major was Prime Minister, and Spurs beat Forest in the Cup final.
Was that 91?
Correct. The winner coming courtesy of Eric Young. Remember him? Palace and Wimbledon?
Yep.
Big headband, big defender.
91.
One of your golden years, Danny, I'm sure.
I was only 14.
Here is Dominguez, back to Murillo infield, finding Milenkovic. Out to the far side, collected by Ola Aina, who trundles down the touchline. He's got Elanga alongside him, and then it's into Yates. Yates forward, Anderson on, and then down the right it goes to Elanga. He gets it back to Yates, who pushes it out wide towards the far side. Ola Aina kept it in. I think he thought he'd taken it out and then stopped almost, but it was allowed to play on. Elanga swept the ball from the other side towards Hudson-Odoi, who's on this left-hand side, getting to the edge of the penalty area, sets it back up to Dominguez, whose effort was, I'm not entirely sure that he was...
It was a bit lazy, yeah. It was a good move. Poor effort on the edge of the box.
Yeah, it was just a bit weak, wasn't it? A laboured effort. He just sort of dragged his foot at it, and it went straight into the arms of Henderson, and Palace have got it again. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Crystal Palace 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available on no contract with Now, like Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace, live right now. Search Now Sports.
Was you surprised they got that 91?
Danny, I'm never surprised with you, because as we've already established, you're very rarely wrong. Apart from if we're asking you what game it was that you were at. 1991. I think I'm a year younger than you, so
I'm good at 90s years normally because of FA Cup finals, because I remember them 80s and 90s.
So 92 was,
and then but that wasn't the reason I got that 91. It was the Bryan Adams song. Yeah,
that surprises me.
Well, I remember meeting a lovely young Danish girl on a trip to Denmark football tournament and having a slow dance with her to her. So
did you?
Yeah, lives in the memory.
I'm just leaving that hanging. Here's Lerma trying to nudge that forward. Offside flag is up against Munoz, who's mistimed his run again.
What are you trying to say? You've never had a slow dance?
Yeah, I've had a slow dance.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm never going to go dance again because guilty feet have got no rhythm. Burnley won.
You were probably a book club or chess club or something.
That Monday Night Football, by the way, that we did here, we think is September 2023. Here is Elanga down the right-hand side, looking for Ola Aina. It goes, just stop.
It was Villa.
It was Burnley, 1-1.
Oh, that's right, Burnley, yeah. Same colour. It's nearly, isn't it?
Kamada takes the ball off Yates, who is dawdling over on the far side. Kamada starts to run up towards the halfway line. He pokes it left. Eze takes it on, gets to the edge of the penalty area. Nketiah tries to set it back. There's space on the far side. Munoz took too long. Plays it left instead. Gahey's arriving. Takes matters into his own hands. Tries to centre it. Can't get the cross away. It's cleared.
It's opening up. Better that from Palace. Committing men forward. Getting into dangerous areas.
Elliot Anderson drags the ball to the far side. He's fouled by Will Hughes. It's going to be a throw-in over on the far touchline. And it's away for it might be a free kick he's given in the end, the referee, and it's going to be with Nottingham Forest once again. But you saw it open up there. I think it does need an injection of something. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be Nottingham Forest who are going to roll the dice a little bit. And Jota Silva is getting ready to come on. He's got a headband and his hair pulled back like Jack Grealish. He's got the masseuse just warming up his hamstring, and he's getting his number 20 shirt on, and he's ready to come into the fray. He's an exciting player. He tries to make things happen. So does Hudson-Odoi, who's on the left side for Forest now. A little back heel into the path of Dominguez. Keeps it in just about. Went to set it back for Hudson-Odoi and has done that after good movement by the former Chelsea man. Collected on the edge of the box by Yates, who dived on the floor again inside the penalty area. Again. Referees waved it away, and now a chance for Palace to break. Nketiah leading that charge. He's got the wrong side of Anderson. Anderson's brought him down. Free kick. The fans aren't happy. They thought they should have had a penalty at the other end. The yellow card has gone to Anderson for breaking a promising attack up as Nketiah looked to get away.
Do you know what? They're having a pop at Yates, and rightly so. Do you know what? The more I watch him, I know he's got good qualities, but he goes over so easily, so often. He's not the only one, of course, but he just jumps and dives over him.
Yellow card.
He's done it 4-5. He's done it 3 or 4 times tonight.
Well, you mentioned it in the first half, didn't you?
I don't know why he does it though. It's so obvious, so deliberate.
He was driving into the box there as well.
No need. Use your skill, get a shot off.
I think he actually ended up going down just before he got into the box as well, which is another reason not to do it. Anyway, free kick has been given for Crystal Palace at the other end. This is around about 15 yards from the edge of the box. It's a shade left of centre. Eze standing across it, and it's touched by Hughes back to him, and then Eze strikes it and hits the top of the crossbar, and the goalkeeper I think got a little hand to that as well. And he struck that from fully 30 yards, Eberechi Eze, and it had Matt Sells sprawling. Out to the corner it goes.
What an effort. I mean, it's a great hand from the goalkeeper. Just seeing it on a slow-mo now. Oh, what a save.
It's a great save. Tips it onto the crossbar rattles, and Nottingham Forest once again survive. Ball comes back to Hughes. Edge of the D is Eze, striking it again straight down the throat of Sells. This time it's a yard over the top of the crossbar, but I think it took a deflection on the way through. It's going to be another Crystal Palace corner.
He can't hit that first one any better. He's absolutely caught it beautifully. I'm not sure I've seen many better saves than that this season.
I mean, it was such a good hit. It rattled the crossbar after the goalkeeper had got his glove to it. I mean, it must have hit it so hard, because even a save like that didn't really divert it too much, just enough to take it away from the goal. So close to the opener for Crystal Palace. 62 on the clock. Corner taken by Eze this time. To the edge of the area, where it's given to Hughes and then back to Eze. The ball diverted by the head of Yates out to the right flank, where it's retrieved by Munoz. And once again, those yellow shirts coming forward. There's lots of them inside the box, and Munoz is trying to get round Ola Aina, who puts his body between man and ball, shepherds it out for a goal kick, and it is a goal kick away to our right hand side, and it remains 0-0, but it almost nearly didn't. I mean, that was one of the efforts of the season so far. Here's the change then, and Anthony Elanga is being replaced, and on comes Jota Silva. Lively, confident, bit of X factor. Sign from Victoria Guimarães, and he's poised to add a bit of Portuguese flair to the evening here. Given away cheaply there by Moreno as they played out from the back, and then Hughes has faded the ball beautifully out to the left channel, where Eze has stumbled and fallen as he's brought it out of the sky. He's kept hold of it momentarily though, and then he's brushed off the ball by Milenkovic, and a chance maybe for Nottingham Forest to break. Jota Silva darts inside. Gay again just waits, picks his moment, pinches it, sends it clear. Forest have got it back. Gay's been so good in the game. Forest have it halfway under the lights at the City Ground. In from Moreno, out to the wide position, and Hudson-Odoi, who's tricking his way down the left side, delivers across deep to the far post. It's over the head of everyone, but Yates hasn't given up the chase, and he's taken it out to the corner flag, recycled it from the right side, the ball into the box by Aina, drops for Anderson, edge of the area, brings it down, runs across the edge of the 18-yard line, then stumbles, falls, gives it back to Hudson-Odoi, tries to work a shooting position, coming in on his right foot, gets to the edge of the D, that's blocked, the ball spills out towards this near side, and then across comes Murillo to keep it alive for Nottingham Forest. He wants them on the front foot. They want to get on the front foot. They want to force the issue here at home under the floodlights, where they haven't won since April. Ball back with Alex Moreno left side. Tries to send it into the path of Hudson-Odoi. Then it goes back to Anderson. Anderson finding Murillo. Murillo forward, and it's a poor ball which is straight to Lerma, and he turns it over, and then his ball forward is even worse, and it goes straight out to the far side where Ola Aina will allow it to get to the touchline and give it back to his goalkeeper.
Good spells for both sides, good reaction from Forest.
Well, certainly you won't see many finer saves than that.
No, it was brilliant
from Eze. Eze's delivery shot towards the far corner was exquisite. The save was good too. Here's Wood, edge of the area, right-footed shot spilled by Henderson and in. Oh, Henderson won't want to see that again. Chris Wood scores again. And somehow, despite the fact that they've been under the cosh at the other end, Nottingham Forest have found the wood in the middle for the tricky trees. His right-footed shot from the edge of the area should have posed little danger for Henderson, but he went down late, didn't get a strong hand on it, and it squirmed past him into the net. And Nottingham Forest lead by a goal to nil.
Well, it's a tale of two keepers in many ways, but just before this goal goes in, Elliot Anderson again is the one who's trying to break lines and run in behind, constantly on the move and trying to impact the game. What that does is it means Palace have to drop off. The long ball goes up, he tries to break the lines, Chalobah heads it down, I think. Wood comes onto it, doesn't catch it too well, and I'm not really sure what Dean Henderson's doing there. It's a poor mistake. And this is the thing in football. You know, the game's been pretty equal. Both had spells in the game. We've seen arguably one of the best saves of the season, when we agree on that, to one of the worst. And all of a sudden you're 1-0 down, you're near the bottom of the league, things not going your way. Ketty has come on. I mean, even this decision, why not go two strikers? You're losing 1-0. Leave him on with the big man. Maybe go 3-5-2.
Well, Oliver Glasner needs a victory.
You know, what's Canada done?
And he's decided to take off Nketiah and put on Mateta, and I'm not sure the Crystal Palace fans are going to be too happy about that. You know, this is a team that don't score many goals. They need to find a way of doing so, and Palace haven't won after they have let in the first goal since January, when they came back to beat Sheffield United at home. And now they've got to do it away from home somehow. They've won a corner over on the far side. Dean Henderson must be kicking himself.
I'm absolutely baffled by that substitution.
This is Nketiah off and Mateta on. Well, Mateta was always going to have to come on at some stage.
Absolutely.
He's at the near post as the ball goes in from the corner. It's flicked away to the edge of the box, drops nicely, and it's sent forward by Chalobah. He didn't manage to bring it down. There was a bit of a collision inside the area. Forest wanted a free kick. It wasn't going their way. And it's going to be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Well, we've had a spectacular effort saved by Matt Sells, and then just 3-4 minutes later, an effort from the edge of the box. And be honest, look, it was opportunist from Chris Wood, but he's 20 yards from goal. He's hit it low, relatively hard, but not unstoppable, to the goalkeeper's right, and you could tell as it went over the glove of Henderson and his face planted into the turf, but he knew that he should not have allowed that to squirm past him.
I'm not sure whether he was trying to push it, stop it, catch it. It wasn't like his hand was out to palm it. A strange kind of action with his right arm to the ball. I'm not sure whether he got caught in two minds.
A yellow card for Nico Dominguez. I think that was for kicking the ball away, was it? It's a yellow card for the Argentine. Well, Nottingham Forest will go into the top half with a victory. Crystal Palace know that they can move out of the bottom three with just a point tonight.
See, I'd even be tempted if I was Glasner to go to a back four. You know, even if you go 4-4-2, because I don't think you're getting enough from the wing-backs in attacking sense for it to be justified now when you're 1-0 down.
Free kick, Nottingham Forest. Dominguez looking for Anderson, away by Munoz, won by Yates. Drops for Lerma. It's picked up by Yates once again. Hit a hand, but Dominguez was able to clear it from the halfway line, and up and under, which is one in the right fullback position by Munoz, and then it comes through to Anderson again, and Anderson tussling with Munoz, sees the ball squirm out and away for a throwing halfway inside Palace territory. Problem is Palace, historically they don't score enough goals in the Premier League, and even going back, years and years and years, they've never scored more than once in 12 top division visits to the City Ground. So getting a win now almost looks impossible for them.
The thing is as well, you need passes on the pitch when you're trying to score. I mean, Wharton should be on getting the ball down, getting it through the lines, taking more risk with the passing from midfield.
And the reluctance to put him on might be because he's not fit, which again answers the question. Yeah. Asks the question, well, why haven't you sent him for an operation so you can get him fit quicker?
Well, if you're not fit, you don't be on the bench, do you? Unless you're an absolute superstar and you're trying to win a cup final or a semi-final.
Well, he is on the bench tonight, and he has had trouble with his groin, and that is something that Oliver Glasner has mentioned, and says he may end up needing surgery for it, but they're trying to avoid that, I think. Here's Anderson combining well with Wood, getting into the penalty. Right-footed shot, almost wrong from the goalkeeper again. Comes back out to Yates. His right-footed drive is blocked by Lerma. The Nottingham Forest tails are up, and they feel as if the wind is in their sails. Aina into the box, looking for Anderson, flicked away by the defender Lacroix. Comes to Hudson-Odoi, left side of the box. A delivery towards the far post, and it's just over the head of Chris Wood, who was diving into the box, coming in from the edge of the 6-yard area, but flicked over the top of his head and went behind and away for a goal kick. But they're under the cosh now, Crystal Palace.
I don't know what Elliot Anderson's had for his pre-match meal, but I'd like to have a bowl of it. He does not stop. It's incredible watching him live. How many runs he makes off the ball, how many times he runs deep as well to get on it, to demand it. He's everywhere. I know he's got the two central midfielders behind him, but he drops in behind them, he goes ahead of them, he goes ahead of Chris Wood, pops up out here on the left, causing Palace all sorts of problems.
20 Premier League goals for Nottingham Forest for Chris Wood. Only Stan Collymore and Brian Roy have scored more Premier League goals for Nottingham Forest.
Do you know what though? I think I used to feel embarrassed on the occasion. I remember it in two from outside the box that got fumbled. One went through the keeper's arms and the other one he kind of let it go through the side of him or down by the side of him, and I did feel a little bit like, couldn't really celebrate that properly. That wasn't quite as bad, but it's still a hell of a bad error, isn't it?
Immediately you saw by his own reaction that he was so distraught by it that you knew it was a bad error. Gay trying to wrestle on the far side.
It's Mr. Durham jinxing him earlier, wasn't it?
Well, I didn't want to bring it up.
Calling him the England number one.
He was the England number one the last Sunday. Of course, Jordan Pickford has been the England number one for pretty much most of the last, 7 or 8 years. Here's Myla Sarr about to come on for Crystal Palace, their summer signing, who is left on the bench today. But they've got to face a corner first for Nottingham Forest. Right-footed. The ball goes into Jota Silva. Goes up with Mateta for it. Mateta wins the header, heads it away only as far as the right corner of the area. It's whipped back in towards the far post, punched away by Henderson. Drops for Hudson-Odoi. He then went to try and hit it, decided to go out of the traffic because he was met by two yellow shirts rushing towards him. And he turns in the end and gives it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Matt Sells.
Got good feet, hasn't he? Really quick feet, Hudson-Odoi.
Remember when he was at Chelsea and he burst onto the scene. There was all those rumours that Bayern Munich were trying to sign him for huge amounts of money. He then hurt his Achilles, you remember, and he was out for such a long time, and it stunted his development as a top-level player, and he ended up finding it really difficult to get back. He needed to get away from Chelsea, went off to Leverkusen, has come back to Nottingham Forest, and he's certainly an integral part of this team now. Jeffrey Schlupp also coming on for Crystal Palace, but again, they've got a corner to deal with first of all, and it's taken by Anderson. A lovely delivery towards Yates, who gets up above his marker, but gets under the ball and sends it over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side.
Schlupp and Sarr.
Off comes Will Hughes, who is not the world's most popular man in Nottingham. And Tyreek Mitchell is coming off. So I take it that means that they're going to go to a back four with Chalobah at right back, Munoz at left back, two in midfield, Kamada and Lerma, with Schlupp and Eze as the wingers, and Sarr and Mateta up top.
Yeah, looks that way. Well, I don't think Eze's got a message about going on the wing.
Either that or he has got the message, he just said
Playing
no.
behind, maybe, yeah.
Let's see what happens. Maybe Sarr's going to go out to the left-hand side. We'll keep an eye on it. Kamada comes forward over the halfway line for Crystal Palace, who desperately need an equaliser here. Chalobah into the box, headed away by Murillo. Then further on by Anderson. Wood out towards the near side. Not too much on it. Goes down a play and away for a throw-in. Currently Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Forest to win at 4-1 on the draw, 19-5. Palace to win is 20-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Here come Palace with Munoz over on the far side. Now got a right footer, a predominantly right footer playing on the left. Mitchell can use both of his feet, but
he's got Schlupp and Eze too narrow. And then they lose the ball playing it too narrow.
Here is Moreno, who's come up really well. Played it out to Anderson on the left-hand side. Jota Silva is waiting on the edge of the penalty area if he can find the pass. Instead he went for goal and he got caught on the way through. Anderson is smuggled behind by Schlupp, getting back into the penalty area. But Jota Silva and Ryan Yates were right on the edge of the box and they were waiting for the pass back, and if it had come there was big problems for Crystal Palace.
Well, that started from Palace having the ball in good possession, and as he looks up to make the pass forward, he's got 4 yellow shirts in a 30 to 40 yard area, all narrow. The only out ball right is Chalobah on the right, in the right back area. If you're going to play two, you've got to get some width with the two wide, like whether it be Eze, whether it be Schlupp. Too easy to defend when they've got 4 players so narrow. Another great bit of play from Elliot Anderson, by the way.
Well, I don't think we'll have too many discussions about who's going to be the man of the match tonight.
It's already done.
Morata and Williams about to come on.
Mateta gets 2 or Eze gets 2 in the last 10 minutes.
Nottingham Forest. Anderson's going to take the corner on this near side. It's delivered right-footed deep towards the far post. The header back across the face of goal by Murillo is caught by Anderson Henderson under the crossbar, and it will be cleared away by the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Forest have won. Have just one of 5 Premier League teams without a home win this season, the longest run without a Premier League home win since September 98 and April 1999. There was a sense of defiance and injustice around the place before the start of the game amongst the supporters. They're the latest to believe that everyone is against them. Issues surrounding the sending offs at Brighton. A lot of it's fueled by social media, but there's a little bit of fire fueled by the scheduling of the Leicester game that's upcoming on Friday night. They're East Midlands rivals. They feel as if this game and the Friday night game are too close together for it to be a fair fight. Here is Mateta trying to get in round the back of the Nottingham Forest defence. He's gone behind and he didn't quite manage to get it under control. Forest next fixture, Leicester on Friday, is live on Talk Sport.
Got 4 days.
Yeah. Come on. West Ham, Newcastle both at home, and then away to Arsenal after the international break. Palace got Tottenham at home next, Villa away in the League Cup, Wolves away, Fulham at home, Aston Villa away, and then Newcastle at home.
They are in trouble at the moment with those fixtures.
Elliot Anderson coming off, and Nico Williams and Morata coming on. the other one to be withdrawn is Moreno. So I think that means that Williams will go to left back. Well, Moreno really can play. Morata can play left back, but he's going to go as a left centre half of a 3. Aina's going to go to right wing back, and I think Williams to left wing back.
I think you're right. I think it makes sense. Palace have gone 4 up top, so rather than 4v4, he's gone 5v4. Sensible. Really good decision.
Good tactical change.
Yeah,
Rui Pedro Silva is the assistant coach in communication totally all the time, apparently, with Nuno Espirito Santo. Here's Hudson-Odoi looking for Williams to make an immediate impact. Didn't quite manage to get the weight of the pass right, and it's cleared away by Crystal Palace. Kamada, who hasn't had the best of evenings, just hits the ball against Yates, but the ricochet bounces into Lerma's path. It's collected on the far side by Munoz, closed down by Jota Silva, and that ball repelled into Palace territory. So now Nottingham Forest are in that situation where they're happy. They've got a team coming at them, and they're very good defensively.
Yep.
They can sit off in their low block, they don't press, they allow you to gather the ball, and then they time their interventions at the right time. Well, and they think they've got the speed on the break.
And also, when you...
Mateta trying to get down the right side, Williams trying to get towards him, and right footed shot is straight into the goalkeeper's near post.
He's already made a difference, Mateta. But also as well, because you're winning the game, the fans are more okay if you're doing it rather than starting that way. You know, at times here at the City Ground, they're going to find a little bit of a game of basketball against teams because the fans will urge them to go forward more quickly and press and leave themselves a bit more exposed. But now they're winning. That was a great little substitution. They're changing it, they're getting the back 5 against the Palace 4, rather than leaving it to chance and go 4v4 and just see who's going to score next.
Mario
giving the ball away again.
And it's something a bit too often. Aston Villa belonging tomorrow, by the way. Arsenal, Shakhtar Donetsk is where Adrian will be tomorrow night. Leeds against Watford is on TalkSport 2. Wednesday night, Atalanta against Celtic. Leipzig, Liverpool is on TalkSport. We'll have updates from Manchester City, Prague as well. And that's also on TalkSport 2. Thursday night, Fenerbahce against Manchester United in the Europa League. Friday night, Leicester against Forest. It's all go on TalkSport all the time. Football. Wherever there's football, we will be there. Here is Mateta, right side, into the box, trying to squeeze it into a central area. Slip with an effort, and Sells comes out with another big hand up to his right to steer it round the post and keep the scoreline at Nottingham Forest 1, Palace 0. Excellent save from Jeffrey Schlupp. Quick taken corner out to the far side. Eze trying to get to the byline, produces a cross, Murillo away, back in by Lerma on the edge of the box, and then Jota Silva steals it, charges upfield, but Hudson-Odoi has got a head injury and they want to get him treatment. Well, Matt Sells has done brilliantly. He was injured during the international break. They were a bit concerned that he wasn't going to make it today, but boy are they delighted that he did.
It's another great save. Mateta causing problems again. He pulls it back. I mean, it's not as good as the other one, but it's still a really strong hand, high and right. Just tries to guide it into that far corner.
Is it a good save because it was an unexpected shot? To be able to steer that towards the far corner from with very little backlift, actually it might have taken him by surprise.
It could have done, but he'll know. Well, I would imagine he'll know Schlupp left-footed quickly wants to try and do something. But it was still great reaction.
Hudson-Odoi is down here and he is in need of some treatment. He is moving, he's just tapping his head.
He's tired, that's all. He's worked hard. He's doing the old, I've hurt myself, bring me off. We've all been there.
Have you?
Yeah. Especially when you're winning and you kind of, legs are gone a little bit. Rather than say I'm tired, take a little whack on the head or whatever. You don't want to take the whack. What I'm saying is if it happens, then you go, do you know what? 5 minutes. Especially if you've scored.
Tomo Wanyi is about to be introduced, so is Ramon Sosa. So they'll make 2 changes. They won't take any chances. Nuno Espirito Santo is watching on from the glass box. He's actually, I can see him, he is
asleep
7 seats away from us inside that box that's just there. a similar vantage point to what we've got. And Chris Wood's goal separates these two teams. You're listening to TalkSport. Nottingham Forest 0, Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps 120,000 people every day. Hudson-Odoi going off behind the goal. I think they will change him. Let's find out what the other changes. It might be Chris Wood comes off. Hudson-Odoi is going off for Sosa. He scored the goal in the game against Brighton. And the other change is the end of Chris Wood's night. There's got 20 Premier League goals now for Nottingham Forest. There's not many people that can do that. And he claps all four sides of this famous old ground, knowing that he, at this moment in time, looks as if he's got the winner. There's still 7 minutes to go. Palace might still have something to say about it, but at this moment in time, it looks like they're heading for their first win since April at this stadium. Awoniyi on.
There's not been much in the game, Sam. There's not been much in it. They both had their moments. Might say that Forest have probably pushed that little bit more and got themselves in better positions. Still a tale of two goalkeepers, though, isn't it? One of the best saves and one of the worst.
19 shots against 15 shots, 6 shots on target against 6 shots on target. Crucially, a couple of brilliant saves at one end and one goalkeeper fumble at the other. I think over the piece, I think Nottingham Forest have edged it in terms of possession, intent, but then again, they're the home team. You would expect them to have a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I make you right. I think they've got themselves into better areas more often and more clear-cut chances, that's for sure.
Here is Schlupp down the right side, centres the ball. Oh, that's not a great pass out to the near side, and Williams actually then sends the ball on down the left-hand side, and Awoniyi is on the chase. He gets into the wing position and then stops and gets to the box. He tries to take on the defender Lacroix, turns it back outside towards Williams. Williams gets it onto his right foot, wants to cross it, does that. Edge of the box is Yates. Yates chests it down and goes away from goal, keeps Nottingham Forest in possession, and they'll build again from the back. They didn't make the most of that ball down the left side. I wonder whether or not if it hadn't have hit the back of Awoniyi's head and went over his head, he would have raced onto it. Throw in for Williams, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Oliver Glasner is going to make one last change. Here is Dominguez on to Sosa. Sosa gets it back. It's intelligent play by the Paraguayan. Back it goes to Murillo, then on to Morato. He tries to nudge it down the touchline, but across comes Schlupp and puts it out of play, and it's away for a throw into Nottingham Forest in that Garibaldi red, and attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Halfway between the halfway line and the goal away to our left, Williams throws it in. Sosa with his back to goal sort of shirks the ball. It bounces into Crystal Palace possession. They give it back through Munoz. He's playing on the wrong side, so he hit it with his wrong foot and gave it straight to Awoniyi. Jota Silva holds on to it, looks to try and turn, escapes the attentions of Munoz, gets into the box, he's being shackled, he sends a cross over the top of the first defender. Chalobah has to react, he comes back towards Sosa, it's helped by Awoniyi back to the edge of the area, and Williams keeps him going. Good play by Nottingham Forest. Sosa's got it back again, tries to feed Williams down the left side of the box, shackled by Lacroix. It goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Asher Agbinoni is about to come on for a Premier League debut. And this is a real sign of desperation. He's only 19 years of age. It's his debut tonight, wearing the number 64, Agbinoni. Well thought of, but this is a big stage to make your debut in. And the state of the game being against Crystal Palace doesn't help matters, but they do have injuries at this moment in time.
Keeping the ball really.
Here's Williams down the left-hand side. Morato started the move. Sosa trying to bend it in the corner. Blocked by Lacroix. Comes back out to the edge of the area. Jota Silva keeps it alive. They're keeping Palace penned in inside their own final third. And Munoz gets in front of Aina, tucks it out for a throw down by the corner flag, and the pressure continues from Nottingham Forest as we enter minute 88.
Well, we talk a lot, don't we, about game management when we watch football, and players making silly decisions or teams making silly decisions. They've not just changed the system and made the really good substitution for us, they've also all switched on quickly to the fact that the more they keep the ball, the more they move it, the quicker they move it, the more they tire out Palace, and the more they make it difficult for them to get out. Really good play.
Ashraf Benoni has replaced Daichi Kamada for the last few minutes of this game. Jota Silva, lovely little turn. Baletic tries to get into the box, challenged by Munoz. He went down probably too easily, wanting a penalty. It was not forthcoming from Tim Robinson, who still hasn't given one this season. But the ball is broken kindly on the far side for Ismail Assar. He's fed Agbenoni, who drives towards the left edge of the box. Needs to find a pass now. Does that. Finds Eze. Eze with the strike. Blocked by the advancing Dominguez. And the ball breaks to the halfway line. It's a foot race between Leclerc and Awoniyi. And across comes Lacroix and just about hoofs it into the stand because he was under so much pressure from the stomping feet of the former Union Berlin striker.
I'm not sure why your defender would kick the ball out of play when there's nearly 90 minutes on the clock. You're better taking a risk, bringing it down or giving it back to your keeper.
He panicked, didn't he?
Yeah.
And what it has done, it sort of helped Nottingham Forest get further and further up the pitch.
Yeah.
Away from their own goal. We're into the 89th minute, just about to tick into the 90th. Forest lead by a goal to nil. They haven't won at home for a long time. Palace have lost the last 2 Premier League games. They haven't lost 3 in a row since they sacked Patrick Vieira.
That Palace opportunity was a good one. They had good numbers in the box and he decided to try to pull back the young lad instead of crossing it. He should have taken a risk with the cross.
Here is Nico Williams on the left-hand side trying to attack the box for Nottingham Forest. Chalobah trying to stand him up and make sure he has to go wide. Sosa holds on to it. Out comes Munoz crouching down, facing up Dominguez. Williams, though, whips in the cross. It's a little bit too high and goes behind. What do you make of Oliver Glasner? This is game number 8. Not many teams, 55% of the ones that don't win in the first 7 end up getting relegated. When you start getting to 8 games and not winning, there is a bit of trouble on the horizon.
Well, it's not about this performance tonight. They've been a little bit unlucky. It's quite a difficult place to come. It's been quite even when you told me the stats. Yes, Forest have edged it a little bit in some respects, but the goalkeeper doesn't make the silly mistake. They get away from a draw and they live to fight another day, and the other end he's made a worldie. So it's small fractions, but it's not just about today, it's all the other games where they've not been at it for the 90 minutes. Thinking of the way they started against Liverpool at Selhurst Park, and a lack of competitiveness, lack of tenacity with your fans behind you. Even the way they capitulated at Brentford opening day of the season after starting the game pretty well. Couldn't really lay a glove on them in the second half.
And that's what's going to frustrate the Crystal Palace supporters. It's not about one night, is it?
No.
And yeah, they had a really good back end of the season, but it was the back end of the season when other teams maybe had just taken their eye off the ball. Would that be fair? Mateta trying to charge down the left-hand side. Ball cleared away. Certainly, I think he's coming under a little bit of scrutiny, Oliver Glasner now.
Absolutely.
Lerma picking the ball up, shooting from distance. Poor decision.
What is he
the ball's ricocheted into Awoniyi, and he's done well to hold it up. Luckily for Palace, Trevor Chalobah was there to rescue Lerma, who made a bad error. It's worked out wide. Agbenoni has sent the ball in towards the near post. It's not a great cross, and it's picked up by Jota Silva, and then he's sent away. But he's got Mark Gay up against him, and he's taking nothing for granted. Ball up towards Ismail Assar. His header into the penalty area is repelled by Milenkovic. Back wide it goes. Agbenoni is trying to do the spaghetti legs and go past the defender. He draws the corner kick, and Ola Aina is furious about it. Pressure late on, 7 minutes of added time. We're into the first of those. Live on TalkSport towards the end of the game at the City Ground tonight. Nottingham Forest on the verge of their first win at home this season. This will mean they go up into the top half of the table. Here's the cross from the corner by Eze. In towards the centre of the goal. Pushed away. Comes back to Agbenoni. His effort is not clean. It's cleared away by Nottingham Forest. They don't quite get out. And then the ball forward by Munoz is a tired one.
Lazy.
Roman Sosa heads it into the open half of the pitch, which has got no red shirts in it. Forest about to go up to 8th in the Premier League table if they hold on to this, above Fulham, above Newcastle, above Bournemouth, the conquerors of Arsenal, and above Manchester United. It will be a really good start for the Tricky Trees. It's going to be 3 defeats in a row for Glasgow and Palace. They've now scored just 5 Premier League goals in 8 games. That's not good enough. They know it. Here is Chalobah in towards Mateta, and he's flicked his head at it from 12 yards out, and it's way over the top of the crossbar.
He had more time than he thought to bring it down, wait for runners. It's actually not a bad ball in from Chalobah.
The last few minutes going to be painful for Oliver Glasner. Chris Wood's goal at this moment in time is the only thing that separates them on the scoreboard, but there's going to be a huge gulf in terms of where they are in the table. And if you look at the table as it stands at this moment, those bottom 4 are getting a little bit detached from those above them. Ipswich, Palace, Southampton and Wolves, they're quite away now from Everton. There's 4 points between Ipswich and Everton, 5 points between Palace and Everton. That's a concern at this stage of the season, just 8 games in.
I think it's a big concern because it doesn't seem at the moment like he's got his best 11 or even the right balanced formation to give them enough opportunities to score goals. It's all well and good playing with a back 5, but if he doesn't give you an advantage in winning some games and getting forward, back 3 or back 5 is generally a formation played by teams who are struggling to defend well and concede a lot of goals.
Ball is out of play. Crystal Palace have it, but it's down by their own corner flag, deep inside their own territory by the right full-back position, and Forest have hemmed them in and they've won the ball back again. And free kick has been given because Munoz has dived in on a challenge. Sosa's gone down, and it's given Nottingham Forest an excuse to waste a few more precious seconds. 95 on the clock.
Ridiculous tackle from them. He's tired, yes, I get it. He's frustrated, I get it. But you've got 3 minutes. You've got to win the ball back and get up the other end.
Munoz is the one who goes into the referee's notebook, and Tim Robinson is saying, look, I've tried to book you and you've walked away from me. If you keep doing that, there's going to be further trouble for you. Eventually he's called him over and he's given the yellow card. He's getting frustrated there, Tim Robinson, and you don't want to do that at the end of a game. Get yourself in double trouble. Dominguez takes the free kick, short and out to the near touchline. Again, they take it right tight to the touchline and try and waste a few more precious seconds, keep possession well, deep inside Palace territory. All the time it's up here, they can't be caused problems at the other end. Sosa tricking his way further down the left-hand side. Munoz trying to tuck it behind. It goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and Palace have got to get the ball up the other end. We've played 96 minutes. There's 1 more minute of added time. We're in the last few seconds of this encounter. The first one in 4 for Forest is going to be music to the ears of the Forest fans. Can they get over the line? Hoofed upfield by Lacroix, headed away by Milenkovic, picked up by Jota Silva. Across goes Schnook to try and engage. He puts it out. It's away for a Nottingham Forest throw, and a few more Nottingham Forest supporters are accepting of the situation. They believe the ball is going to remain with them. They believe they're going to get over the line and the job is going to be done. And they believe that they're going to inflict another defeat on Crystal Palace. This ground has not seen a Palace win since 1991 in the top flight. It's going to be a very poor start to the season for Crystal Palace. The last time they started a campaign this bad, they were relegated. They do not want to suffer that same fate. Steve Parish doesn't tolerate the idea of dropping out of the Premier League. That is not on his agenda. Here is Dominguez winning the ball. There's 3 against 1 in Forest's favour. They can kill it now. And Jota Silva is running forward. He's took too many touches. He's left it for Williams now, but Williams is just going to take it to safety, and it's going to go out on the far side. They didn't kill it when they had the chance. They didn't need to. Forest fans celebrate their first home win in the Premier League in 202 days, and it's a result that leaves Oliver Glasner glassy-eyed. The Eagles get their wings clipped by the tricky trees, and their wait for a first win of the season goes on and on and on. Chris Wood with the key moments. Dean Henderson will not want to see again. It's a night that takes Forest into the top 10 and leaves Glasner in the bottom 3. There's trouble at the Palace. It's their worst start to a season in 31 years. It's finished. Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0.